Okay, so today I'm going to show you in less than 10 minutes how to create a hotspot image question in Blackboard. So here we are sitting in my learning management system, and I'm going to click on this little plus sign here and add a content area, and I'm going to call this formative exams. And I'm going to tick to make it available to students and click submit. So now we see that sitting down here at the bottom of my column on the left-hand side. So I click on my new content area called formative exams, and it gives us these options here. So we can build content, we can add different things in, we can add some assessments in or some various tools. But today we are looking at different types of questions. So we're going to go to test. We're going to create a new test. We had the option of using an existing test. Let's go to create so I can show you how to do that. So we'll call this test formative exam 1. The description might be something like this is a 5-question test examining the learning objectives X, Y, Z, and the instructions might be something like, this is a closed book exam. You have 5 minutes to complete. Oops, my typing is shocking. Okay, now we're going to go down to submit. So it's going to create this scaffold of our test. So we've got our instructions already set up. So now we need to add the questions. So we have create question, reuse questions, upload questions, and question settings. So firstly, I like to go to question settings, and I like to change the default point value to 1. Then I come back and I'm going to create a question from scratch. If I had some previously used questions from a previous year that I really liked, I can actually find them and import them. So I'm going to go down to create question. Today we're going to look at hotspots. I'm going to click on hotspot, and the question title, we'll call it hotspot 1. And the question text, I'll make it nice and big. I'm going to say, click on the midbrain on the MRI below. So I'm going to add in a MRI. So it's asking me to upload the image. So I'm going to click on browse my computer, and I'm going to grab my image that I've previously prepared, and I've made sure that it's not too big, so it should be able to be visualized on a number of screens. I'm now going to click next. As the spinning wheel comes round, it's now asking me to click on where the midbrain is. So I'm going to draw a slightly bigger box than I might otherwise do. And here you can see that the only shape that I've been able to draw is a rectangle. I can have a rectangle which can be of varying sizes, but it always has to be a rectangle. And that's, I guess, one of the only issues that we have with Hotspot in both LMS, in Blackboard, and in the ExamSoft as well. So you can see that the coordinates have been mapped into the learning management system. If I wanted to clear it and do another one, I just hit clear and redo that. But I've outlined the midbrain there quite nicely. If I wanted to give some feedback, I could say correct. The midbrain is located between the thalamus and the pons. And incorrect response might be, so if they clicked on the wrong area, incorrect, please go and review your brainstem anatomy. Okay, so if I click submit, that is going to now finish that. I could have put keywords and things in there, but I don't need to. So it shows us our description up the top here, our instructions. Here is our question, which says click on the midbrain on the MRI below. It's worth 1 point. And the students will have the image without the box on it. So this is the preview showing us where the answer is. And then it has our feedback down the bottom, if the student got it correct or if the student clicked on the incorrect place. So that's giving some instant feedback. If we want to, we can go back and review this, but let's make another type of question. So let's go to create question. This time we are going to make a jumbled sentence. So a jumbled sentence is actually multiple drop-down list. It's not phrased very well, but we'll call this one hotspot 2. And the question text could be something like Professor Amit, and we could put a little box there. Some person is the new something chancellor of the University of, let's put another one, something Australia. And we can click the box here to give partial credit, so we can make this worth whatever we want. But at the moment, remember, it's set at 1. So at the moment, if they got one of these answers, it would be giving them 0.33 of a mark. So now we want to tell it how many answers we want. So if we want to give 4 options for each of those 3 blanks, we're going to say total number of answers to be 12. I wish this bit was a little bit smoother, but it's still a little clunky. So these are all the answers that are going to drop down for each of the drop down points. So we could put some various names in here. We could say the last name could be Hollander. It could be Schmidt. Just pulling out some random names here. It could be Thompson, or could be Chakma. For the second one, we could say it could be the new Arch Chancellor, the new Vice Chancellor, the new Supreme Chancellor. What's another question? Another answer? Reigning. Anything. And for our last one, we could have Southern Australia, Northern Australia, Eastern Australia, and Western Australia. So that's all different options that are going to be dropped down. So let's click on next. And so now it's asking us to choose which are the correct answers. So Professor Amit is not De Hollander, it's Chakma, is the new Vice Chancellor of the University of Western Australia. And again, we can put some feedback, we can put some categories and keywords in there, but we will just go to submit. So now we've got 2 types of questions in here, and we can now go and see how this looks for students. Okay, so we've got both of our correct answers showing there. So if we click on OK, it's going to ask us to create our test. And we're just going to now use our test there. We're going to make sure it shows the test description to students, that it shows instructions, that it opens in a new window, make it available to students. We could send an announcement. It might confuse my current students if we do that. We can give them multiple attempts. We can force completion. We can say we've got 2 questions in there at the moment, so they can have 2 minutes. We can put auto submit, we can change when it's displayed, and we can also make it more secure by adding a password. So if we add that in there, we can now go into the student view. So we'll click on student view, which will take us back to our landing page, and we can go down to the formative exam that we've created, click on the formative exam, and now we're getting the screen that the students will get. So showing us what the test will be. Okay, so now we've got our countdown timer going, and the first question says, click on the midbrain of the MRI below. So we will just click there. And then our next question is our drop-down list. So now we can see that is blanked out. So Professor Ahmet, we need to click and grab the answers for those and press save and submit. And we can see that, whoops, it's submitting, it's asking us to confirm that, and we did that in 40 seconds. And we can see that the test, the student number or student name, the test is there, when they started it, when they submitted it, and how long they used. They click on OK to see the results. We will see that we got 2 out of 2 points. So that is how you create a hotspot and a jumbled sentence type of question in Blackboard. Hopefully you found that helpful.